Today we're going to continue looking at solving multiplication and division word problems. This is volume 2, and today you are going to get a chance to pause the video, solve the problems, and then watch as I solve them to check over your work. Alright, so, strategies that we use when we solve multiplication. Remember, we've talked about a bunch of different strategies. We have equal groups where we create as many circles and put that many numbers in each circle by our factors. We have a number line where we can skip count by 2s or 3s or 4s or 5s, whatever it is that we're multiplying by. We have repeated addition where we can add the number as many times as we need to get our answer. And then we have arrays where we make rows and columns based on our factors to find out our product. Strategies that we use for division: sharing in equal groups where we start with our larger number and share them equally into our smaller number. Grouping where we draw as many items as we need to and then put them in groups. Repeated subtraction where we start with our larger number and subtract. And arrays, same thing except instead of creating our rows and columns, we create a row and then we keep going until we get as many columns as we need. So those are our strategies for solving. So our first problem: Emerson found 40 seashells on the beach. She separated them into her 5 buckets. How many seashells did Emerson put in each bucket? So I want you to pause the video, solve the problem, and I need to see this on your notes from today. Alright, so you've solved it on your own. So now let's look at it. I'm going to circle my numbers: 40 seashells, and she's separating them into her 5 buckets. The question is, how many seashells did Emerson put in each bucket? Some of the key words is she separated them into her 5 buckets. That tells me that she's taking her total amount and putting them into groups. So I'm going to use sharing for 40 divided by 5 equals blank. So I'm going to draw my 5 buckets. This is what the problem is telling me to do. And I'm going to separate 40 into those 5 buckets until I've gotten to 40. So I've separated 40 into the 5 buckets, so now I'm going to count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 in each circle, so 40 divided by 5 equals 8. All right, let's move on to the next problem. Mrs. Coker was putting books on the shelves in the library. She put 4 books on each shelf. If she has 4 shelves, how many books does Mrs. Coker have? So pause the video. I want you to solve the problem, and I need to see that you solve the problem in your notes. Okay, so again, I'm going to circle my numbers. I have 4 books on each shelf, and she has 4 shelves. The question is, how many books does Mrs. Coker have? Some key words is that she's putting the 4 books on each shelf. Okay, so she's got 4 books on one shelf, 4 books on another shelf, 4 books on another shelf. So my number sentence is 4 times 4 equals blank. I'm going to use repeated addition to solve this problem because I'm going to be adding the 4 books on the 4 shelves. So I've got 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 for each of those 4 shelves. I'm going to use my doubles, and I know 4 plus 4 is 8, and 4 plus 4 is 8, and 8 plus 8 is 16. So 4 times 4 must equal 16. So we are going to continue looking at how to solve multiplication and division word problems this week before we start looking at how to tell if it's a multiplication, division, addition, or a subtraction problem.